We're starting again. You want to scream to the world that we're back in business. We're here. Come on, we're waiting for you.
Coming back on board the ship just now and seeing the crew, everybody was crying.
It's the crew that creates the soul of the ship.
We recognize them, they recognize us. It's a wonderful bond, a wonderful bond.
There is such a loyalty from past guests and from our crew members to these guests. It's like coming back to the family. The old Crystal is here with new enhancements, and I can say a better Crystal. Accommodation now, fabulous.
They've literally cleared out whole decks of cabins and made them larger.
We will have the largest amount of space per guest in the industry.
You could see the attention to detail, whether it's the bathroom, the shower, the flooring. Very impressive.
Most important thing is service. Outstanding, exceptional service.
The most amazing thing is they've really kept the commitment on the crew, even though they've reduced the number of passengers by 30%. So now you're talking about almost one-to-one.
I always kid with people, the crew knows more about me than I sometimes know about myself.
The combination, a merge of Crystal and A&K, and I think will produce the best tours. I think the result will be outstanding.
It's just adding another luxury element to the toolbox that Crystal has.
I was so happy that this beautiful vessel had been resurrected like a phoenix from the ashes. It's a feeling you can't describe.
I want my Crystal. It's part of my happy place.
No one else gives you what Crystal can give you.
Anyone who's been on Crystal, they know what the Crystal feel is. Just home. It's really home.
Well, hey, everybody. How are you? Good to see you. I'm Walter, your independent travel agent with Where's Walter Travel, and I'm so excited. I get so excited when we get to have new cruise travel partners come on here tonight. And tonight, it's like one of the most iconic brands, 35 years now, Lynne, this year, right?
Yes.
Wow, 35 years. So Crystal is with us tonight, the whole new reborn, the Phoenix rising from the ashes. So exciting to have Crystal back. Folks, if we can help you in any way with your travel, just always reach out. where'swaltertravel.com. There's links down in the description. And as always, please do jump in, ask your questions. Lynne's going to be here for about an hour with us. This is your chance to learn about the all-new Crystal, their amazing shift. And I'm just waiting till we get to Beef Bar. I love everything about that name. And I can't wait to learn more about Beef Bar. I'm like, every ship should have a beef bar. I mean, come on. And we got Sue's here. Sue and Phil's here. Mimi, Kathy, Bill's fan, Joe. How you doing, everybody? It's great to see you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Lynne is my representative with Crystal Cruises. In fact, you're going to be here in Orlando very shortly, aren't you?
Yeah, I leave on Saturday, coming down for the conference to meet you and all your colleagues.
Yay. So my host travel agency, KHM Travel, is going to have a big conference down here in Orlando. And I'm finally going to meet you in person. I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Well, so Lynne has a whole presentation. Now, again, folks, jump in with your questions. We will stop the presentation. She knows a lot more about the cruise line than I do. I try to learn as much as I can, but this is your opportunity to talk directly to Lynne and to Crystal Cruises. So with that, Lynne, I'm going to let you take it from there. I'll bring up your slide presentation, and let's learn all about Crystal.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Well, this is a great opportunity, not just to kind of share with you, but also with all of your potential clients, which of course can be either returning or new to Crystal guests. So we're excited to kind of share with you a little bit about our legacy and also our future. We've got a lot in store for you.
Awesome.
So again, I'm in Chicago in the Midwest, so very close to where the host agency is based. But again, we've got clients from all over North America as well as all over the world. We are a global company. A little bit about the Crystal story, as we call it, because as Wally mentioned, we started sailing over 35 years ago. And over time, the Crystal brand was known for luxury, known for service, attention to detail. Over time, I think they got a little bit excited about purchasing too many assets because after the pandemic, unfortunately, the Crystal company filed for bankruptcy and sold off all of the assets. So what formerly was river cruises and yachts and expedition is now kind of separated. So in 2022, Abercrombie and Kent purchased not only the Crystal brand, the Crystal database, and all of the 2 ships, which I'll share with you. So that's why Crystal's a little bit different than what people remember, but it's also better than what people remember because now we are owned by Abercrombie and Kent. If you're not familiar with A&K, it is a land-based tour operator who started selling the very first African safaris, and again, very high-end luxury travel.
Yes.
So now we're this part of this, luxurious company that doesn't have premium or, mid-market products. Everything is luxury. So, so this happened in 2022 that we bought. So we brought over the full database, again, the 2 ships, and 90% of our crew came back. So what people remember as
90%?
Exactly. Yeah. So 90% of our crew. So some of our officers, even though we have new owners, some of our officers, housekeepers, butlers, bartenders, they've been working with Crystal for decades. So we've got
and folks, just so you know, this wasn't like, we'll just shut down for a couple of weeks and everybody came back. I mean, this was a process. To get 90% back. Wow, that's phenomenal.
Crystal wasn't sailing for, I think, about 18 months. So it was a pretty big ordeal for to go through bankruptcy, to kind of be reborn, new ownership. So there's been a lot of hurdles to overcome. But again, the Crystal story is a successful story because, again, now we've rebranded. We're kind of a startup in the sense that the shore side is a lot of people that came over from other cruise lines or from the previous Crystal. So we're doing that. But the onboard experience is very much true to what people remember.
That's awesome.
So just to kind of share a little bit about, who Crystal is now, is we have 2 ocean ships. So we don't have a large fleet, but we are building back towards that. So these 2 ships, we've got the Symphony and the Serenity. Both of them are about 20 to 25 years old. However, they were both completely refurbished in 2023. And with that, we reduced capacity by 30%. So now it used to be 900 guests. The Symphony is now 600. And what used to be a little is now 740. So that gives us a 1-to-1 staff to guest ratio, and then also more square footage per person. So again, more elbow room, more space, that you've got a great small to mid-size ship, but still not quite a very large volume of people on board, but you've got the 1-to-1 staff to guest ratio.
That's
exactly.
Nice.
And the nice thing too is it's, we're also reinvesting. So I want people to know that this isn't just like, something that we purchased. This legacy is we want to continue with this luxury offering. So we have 3 new ocean ships on order. And if you know anything about cruise ships, they are not inexpensive. So we are in the process of filling the Symphony and the Serenity so that we can, finance and start preparing itineraries for the ships that are going to be delivered in 2028, 2029, and 2030. And those new ships will be, fantastic. So again, very similar, same shipbuilder. Some of the key features we have in our ships, I'll share with you. They're also going to be on these new ships. So it's not going to be a completely different concept, but it will still be improved because they'll be brand new builds and custom tailored for exactly what our clients need.
Wow. And I want to just interrupt real quick, because I see a couple of my solo travelers are here.
Yeah.
Guys, stick around because you're going to really be happy with Crystal when we get to the solo traveler part. So just stick around for a little bit.
Exactly.
This is really good. It's very exciting. So so anybody who's a solo traveler, you're going to like what you're going to hear tonight.
Yeah. And someone asked too about what's included. I'll cover all of that. Some of the other things I'll include are just what we offer on board, how we're different. Also, we'll kind of talk a little bit about who the Crystal client is. So maybe you can see yourself into some of these, and we'll also do a comparison. So I think we've got some really good information for you, hopefully answer a lot of your questions. But keep the questions coming in case I don't touch on something. I want to make sure we address everything and get you really comfortable with what it's like to sail with Crystal.
Yes.
So just some of the awards and accolades. Again, we've only been sailing for not quite 2 years, about 1.5 years. We've been back at sea again. We've already won awards for best cruise for foodies, best cruise for solo travelers, best service and food and beverage. So lots of great options, again, right in our category. And as you know, Wally, there's a lot of competition in this luxury ocean cruising segment.
Absolutely.
So to say we've only been sailing for 1.5 years and already to have so many awards, it really is, admirable that our crew and our staff has been able to pull these together very quickly.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So again, we just want to, kind of what does it mean to experience the Crystal difference? So I will share with you what we have is an all-inclusive cruise fare. So everything that's included when you get your price point or your invoice and you're kind of comparing, it'll vary by itinerary, of course, and destination, but it will include all of your gratuities, all of your beverages, Wi-Fi. We also have butler service in every category.
Oh, nice.
So your butler can do your packing, unpacking for you. They can do room service orders, restaurant, spa reservations, all of those things that they'll come right to your room. And it just seems like all you have to do is ring them from, the in-room phone, and then they're there within a minute.
I just want a bell.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, we don't want to disrupt everyone, but they're very, very attentive. They're always.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
So they're always readily available. But we've got everything too, like, laundry services. We've got unlimited, reservations. So in-room dining is included. We do have specialty dining included, and I'll touch base on a little bit how that's different from our main dining. But we also include Wi-Fi. We include tablet and things like that, so you can catch the news and TV, movies, all of that on board. And then we've got some really high-end Italian toiletries for shampoo, conditioner. So again, something makes you feel like you're more exotic than an American cruise line, and then extra bathrooms.
That's
The
awesome.
nice thing about these is we have both lightweight and like the heavy terry cloth. So again, it's not like, it's one or the other. We give you both because it's not just the weather, it's a personal preference. So
nice.
So all of this, again, great options, all included. The only thing you'll notice that is not included that some people ask about are shore excursions. And we don't include those intentionally because we feel like that's a personal choice. Right. But the advantage to that is you are able to choose your shore excursions 180 days prior to travel. And if we see certain ones are in high demand or they're filling up, we'll add more spots. So you're never going to feel like it's full or that you can't get what you're looking for. And you don't pay for the shore excursions until you're on board.
What? Wait. Yeah. Oh, so we reserve them ahead and then we pay once we get on board?
Exactly. So you're not prepaying hundreds or thousands of dollars for these excursions because we just kind of wait and then we'll reconfirm it once you're on board. I think there's a 72-hour cancellation window. So even if you've got on day 5 of your cruise, you get on board and say, you know what, we decided we just want to lounge and do our own thing. You can still cancel and not be penalized for that. So the flexibility of not having that automatically included is actually an advantage for our clients. Because if they choose not to do that, then they feel like they're losing money or they're taking an excursion because it's the only one left available because they booked inside of, 3 months or something. So, but we do have promotions all the time that will include shipboard credits, upgrades. There are times like we've got a really nice offer for our New York itineraries. I think I'll talk about that one in one of the future slides, but that's $100 per day per person towards shore excursions. So there are certain, so if you want to do Canada, New England, New York, kind of this fall, we are offering that as a special promotion. So there's always something, again, to make sure that we get our clients engaged, but I never feel like people are overpaying. There's a lot of value in what we offer because Abercrombie & Kent curates all of our shore excursions.
Oh, wow.
But they're not A&K pricing. They're still anywhere from $59 for like a walking tour all the way up to maybe $600-$700 for like a seaplane, private helicopter experience. But they're not astronomical. I would say on average, they're maybe $100 to $200 per person for like a tour, which I think is very reasonable considering the high quality that we offer.
Wow, what a great way to leverage the two brands. You know, I mean, they are like rock solid on land, so have them
Exactly.
curate your land tours. That's a fabulous partnership.
Exactly. And I think that's kind of the whole intent when Abercrombie and Kent said, you know what, we do all these great things on land and all these great land tours. They're not always in ports of call. So that's where we're building, and it'll take a little bit of time. But anytime we are in a lot of these, destinations, or we're close to one of them, but they have 55 DMCs around the world, and they're always adding. We just added one in Costa Rica, which is great because one of our itineraries ends in San Jose. So it's really, really a great way to be able to do that.
Nice. All right. And Alex, we'll definitely get to your question pretty soon. She'll be going over some of the itineraries and where the ships are.
Absolutely. I've got some great kind of maps and everything to share with you. So
maps. Yes.
Yes. So everyone's kind of like, who sails with Crystal? Again, it's going to vary. So there's a lot of words, and I apologize, but it is essentially, we did a little bit of market research, and we've got everyone from people that are discoverers, they choose us, and it's all about the destination. The seascapers that they really don't care where it goes. They just want to enjoy Crystal's service and enjoy the onboard experience. The socializers, people that they meet somebody and then they say, hey, let's travel again together. Let's put together, tie up our schedules and kind of synchronize and book the next trip together. And then the togetherers, people that like to travel as a group or family. And then we have what's called the luxurious. And this is going to be more of the people that just want to be pampered and spoiled. And so Crystal accommodates all of these. And we are a family-friendly cruise line. So even though we don't have water slides or anything really catering to the younger clientele, I was in the Alaska itinerary this past July. There were 50 kids, anywhere from infants and strollers all the way up to teenagers or college kids. So really, really varied. And of course, our holiday sailings are going to be pretty family oriented just because of the time of year. But on average, you might have 5 to 6 kids at a time. So it's not that we're kid free, but I would say we're very kid focused, that the well-traveled children that are going to be going with Crystal or with their parents or grandparents are not, disruptive by any means. They're actually really great to have on board, and the staff spoil them and cater to them. So it's really, really fun for them to be able to enjoy it. And also the parents get to be spoiled too.
That's awesome.
So I'll share a little bit about our solo travel experience. The nice thing about solo travel for Crystal is we have a 0 supplement on every single voyage. So we have dedicated staterooms, which are our lead-in ocean view rooms. It's about 215 square feet, but they are going to be, again, just still have a nice ocean view and, generous sized bathroom and closet space. But it's 0 supplement is fantastic. So you can, accommodate that. And then we also have what we call social gatherings that all the solo travelers are invited. If they don't want to, have to make friends on their own, we have special engagements with the cruise director or with the entertainment staff. We have what's called Table for 8. So again, if you want to dine on your own, you are more than welcome to at any of our outlets. But if you'd like to kind of meet up and have something scheduled, the Table for 8, you can just sign up with our maitre d'. Just say, hey, I'd like to join the sushi bar this night, or So it's a really optional thing, but I think it's very important for people to feel like there's a sense of belonging, but also this independence that they have their own stateroom and they have their own schedule, however they'd like to do it.
Yeah, so the 0 solo supplement is phenomenal, and I've got a bunch of solo travelers, and it's just I get why the cruise line do it, but it is I also understand that they could allocate at least a few cabins like that. So I'm really excited that you're actually recognizing and really encouraging the solos to come travel on your cruise line.
Yeah, and I think because we have anywhere from 14 to 18 dedicated, and it's a category. It's not just like a type. It's like an actual stateroom set aside in a portion of the ship. So they're all like near each other too. So then, a lot of the solos were like, hey, let's head back to the room, and they're like neighbors. So, so it has been really nice. And then we also have brought back what we call our ambassador hosts. So these are crew, part of our entertainment team, who will do dance lessons. They'll, really great at socializing. They can be dinner companions. But they're really helpful just to have on board as, someone else to kind of spend time with. And so a lot of our solo travelers really enjoy having that, because we have brought some back of the tradition of like ballroom dancing or, fine dining cocktails and cordials, with like music.
Love it.
Yeah. So really, really fun.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah, so kind of getting back into like the brand pillars again, this is similar to a lot of luxury cruise lines, but this is really where Crystal shines. It's perfectly at home. I won't get into too much detail about the staterooms, but I think it will kind of something caters to everyone and every budget. The world-class dining, again, I'll be name dropping a little bit, but I think that kind of helps bring a little bit of the importance to what we're offering. Again, we're not a big cruise ship, so to have these name brand and these Michelin star chefs on our little cruise line is really a testament to the relationships.
That's amazing.
Same with our entertainment. Again, we're not a big, huge 3,000 person cruise line, but we've got a 7-piece show band, that will perform and accompany the
That's
team.
a good sized band.
Exactly. So, even some of the other cruise lines will only have a 5-piece, because they've got other competing things happening. So for us, it is something that's really important, as well as what we offer for lectures and special interest talks. And then the enriching experiences, most of it, again, being off the ship for shore excursions, but there's a lot happening on board at any given hour.
Wow. That's amazing.
So this is one of what we call our kind of a junior suite. So this is going to be like not quite the entry level, but the entry level suite. So this will be like an oversized sitting room. It's about 365 square feet.
Wow.
We'll have a veranda, sized bathroom, sitting area or vanity, or a desk. So, but if you can see in that inset picture, we took this ship down to steel. You could see from one end of the ship to the other.
Wow.
So
there's
took
like
about
no walls there at all.
The standard guest rooms. Exactly.
Wow.
But we completely restructured this ship. So even though, again, it's not a brand new build, it is really a brand new refurbished. It just feels spotless on board. So the amount of different options we have, again, reach out to Wally if you've got questions of what you're looking for. But this is one of our popular ones for any voyage, because it's just, again, a little bit of extra space. You've got your private veranda, but it's a beautiful room. And there's, again, a nice walk-in shower or a tub. You kind of let us know what the preferences are. But clients really, really enjoy the onboard staterooms too.
Wow.
And as I mentioned with the service, there's definitely going to be, a family on board. So people really get to know their crew, their butler, their servers, their housekeeping team. So they really get to know you, and then you get to know them in return. So, and they remember if you come back on board, because I've been on the ship now 3 times, and they remember my specialist diet requests, and again, I'm just one of 1,000 employees. So the fact that they remember me is fantastic. But they remember our guests because they're on there for like a week or 2 at a time. And then when they see you come back, they review every morning kind of who's on board, anything that didn't go great the night before, they fix. So one thing, I've been with Crystal now a little over a year, and I've had 0 onboard complaints.
Wow.
So I don't have any after travel issues, or, it has been like the most seamless, flawless experience. So I just keep saying, once we get you on board, you will fall in love and, very quickly want to rebook, because our loyalty for our guests and their repeat factor is about 75%. So 75% sail on Crystal a second time at least.
Wow, that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Hey, Bill's fan has a quick question. Is it all balconies, or are there any interiors?
We don't have interior, but not all have a balcony. We do have a few guest rooms that are ocean view. So they will have a large picture window facing out towards the ocean. So all of the interior rooms are now dedicated to entertainment or crew. So what formerly was interior rooms available are no longer available for sale. But you will see we have different categories with a veranda or an ocean view. So ocean view will be the window, and then the veranda will be, of course, a step out, sizable for at least 2 little chairs and maybe a coffee table. Some of them will have loungers.
Nice. So every room has a view.
Exactly. I have a view or a veranda or both. Yes.
Nice. Love it.
Yeah.
Oh, here's my favorite part. And pretty much everybody who follows me knows this is my favorite part, the food.
Absolutely. So again, I love food. I love, fine dining, but again, I don't always like the price tag that comes with it. So the nice thing about this is when you're paying for your cruise, that includes the service, all the beverages, all the dining. Of course, your beautiful stateroom. So the fact that this is all included at anything that you would want. I did see another question about the dress code on board.
Yes,
So
yes.
the dress code is pretty much resort casual. So during the day, pretty much anything goes, swimsuit attire, just not in the restaurants, but, poolside is fine. And then once you get into the evenings, people do dress up a little bit more, but no jackets required. We just request no shorts or, sandals, for the women.
Sure.
People, they'll be a little bit dressier too, but it's 2 nights a week. We will what's white night, which is kind of, again, just a white theme. So it could be anything from linen, cotton, pants, all the way up to sequins. So it could be a little bit of everything. And then we'll have like a white dance party.
I have to
Entertainment
get my
comes down. We have
sequins
live
clean
music.
before I go on.
Exactly.
I don't have my sequins are
Yeah,
not
get your
ready
white
at the
sequin
moment.
shirt.
I have to get them ready. Yes, I look good in
Exactly.
sequins. I make it work.
Yeah. Well, it's good. It's the reflection that looks so nice right off of your skin. So.
Yes.
And then we've
Yes.
also got what's called a gala night. So our gala night is more of a formal evening. Again, both of these are optional. So if you don't want to dress up, you don't need to. But we find some guests once a week during their voyage will want something that's a little bit dressier. The chef will have more of an upscale menu, like lobster caviar and things like that. So the menu that evening is usually a little bit more upscale too. For the offerings. And then we've also, we'll have like a photographer in the lobby because you are all dressed up and men will wear a sport coat, but you're not necessarily going to see tuxedos and things like that. So it's,
right.
I think what used to be Crystal was very formal and people did dress up like for everything. And I think over the years, it definitely has been a little bit more casuals, but kind of what you would wear to a 5-star resort. You're still not going to wear tank tops and jean shorts. You might, still wear kind of like, nice cover-ups and things like that too.
Sure. Nice. All right.
Yeah. So
For
I'll just
food.
share a little bit of some of our highlights. Let's see if this is.
Yes. There
There
we
we
go.
go.
Ooh.
Okay. Perfect. So this is just kind of an
Chef
introduction of some of my name dropping. So Chef Nobu, and we have a restaurant called Umi Uma. And that means seahorse, actually, in Japanese. Very, very fitting for our logo.
That's fun.
Yeah. So we've got Chef Nobu. It is his very similar menu. It's not exactly the same because his restaurants and hotels are different, but Umi Uma has all the menus. And the nice thing about it is we serve it family style. So it is unlimited options. You can have sushi, you can have entrees, all the way through to dessert. He has his own vineyard, so we do serve Nobu wines. But the staff also is pretty casual. I mean, they're very comfortable. They just let them know what you like or don't like. I mean, even people that don't like seafood still love this restaurant because the beef is fantastic too.
Oh man, I'm
And
loving
also-
this. Oh, family.
Yeah.
I always love family style. It's so much more fun.
It's great because it's less decisions. You just kind of say what you like or don't like, and they're very, very accommodating. And then
Love it.
Beef Bar is another restaurant. So this has, I think, 40 locations throughout the world. Beef Bar is a brand unto itself. Started in Monaco, which is actually where our company is also headquartered. But Beef Bar is in all of these luxury leisure destinations around the world. Anything from like Dubai to, I think they just have one in St. Bart's, Saint-Tropez. Right now, everything in the Swiss Alps for ski season has a beef bar.
Bart's.
So there's all
That's
these
where I
original
saw it.
locations.
I knew I saw the name. We were in St. Bart's. That's where I saw this place. Okay.
Yeah.
It's driving me
The first
crazy.
one in North America just opened. Actually, there's 2 in North America. The first one in the US just opened up in New York this summer. So if you do want to go to New York, I will say, like on the average, it's about $300 to $400 per person for dinner. So the fact that this is included
That's
every day,
included.
lunch and dinner, beef bar is included. So you can have anything
Alex,
as much as you want.
you and
off the
I,
menu.
man, we got to go. Alex, because Rebecca's not going to eat there because she doesn't eat beef. But Alex and I will eat there all night. Right, Alex?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Wow.
And the nice thing too, because I'm not a huge beef eater myself, but it's everything. It's kind of small portions, so it's not going to be the big tomahawk steaks or anything. And they don't consider themselves a steakhouse, but what it is Kobe beef, Wagyu beef, lamb chops, all these different options. But they also have what they call reef and leaf. So reef is the seafood options, and then leaf are plant-based options. So even if you're not a beef or meat eater, you will still find something on these menus that are unique, special, that you wouldn't necessarily have found elsewhere. And the desserts are also phenomenal. So I encourage people to save room for dessert. But again, you can do that as well. And then the third restaurant, the specialty restaurant, is Osteria de Video, which is named after one of our chairmen, Manfredi. So if you don't know Manfredi, he founded Silversea, and he always modeled Silversea after Crystal. He sold it to Royal Caribbean, a much larger cruise line, made a lot of money. He was already a very, very wealthy gentleman, but now he is an Italian billionaire who put stake into the Abercrombie & Kent Travel Group. So when Crystal became available, he was like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing ever. I can't wait to be able to own this. So they named the restaurant after him. And then he brought in some of his friends, these Michelin star chef brothers. So Chef Max and Chef Guillermo, both of them have reimagined this menu. So modern Italian cuisine. The restaurant reservations once per 10-day sailing are complimentary at Chef Nobu's as well as Osteria. But again, Beef Bar is unlimited. You can go there for lunch and dinner every evening if you like.
Wow.
So, but then the other two, if you want to go a second time and do Nobu another time within that 10-day sailing, it's just $50 per person. Which again, if you know the cost of Nobu sushi, that's barely an appetizer. So
oh my gosh. And
I
SL
do
says
once per week at Nobu is a lot because it's a lot of food, and again, it's very rich. But some people just want to go back for the sushi bar, and they're totally fine paying that extra fee. But it's
Lynne, you're doing such a good job that SL says you're already answering questions before they can ask them, and they heard great things about Crystal from a recent passenger. So yay! Yeah. Thank you for the comment. That's awesome.
Good. Yeah. So again, I'm trying to cover as much as I can without being repetitive, but
nice.
I think what people really like about Crystal is the options. Again, we've got 9 different restaurant options. These are all fantastic. I saw a question about how's the coffee on board, and I'm not sharing it tonight, but take a look at our website. We have this really absolutely beautiful bistro cafe on board, which is a European style coffee. And it's great because our sommelier who does our wine pourings at night is also your barista in the mornings. So they're really, really know what they're doing. But yeah, you can have any sort of specialty coffees on board. And it is phenomenal. So people really do like that.
The Bills fan wants to know, are there casual dining options such as a buffet?
There is. So we've also got other restaurants I didn't mention here, but we've got Marketplace, which is breakfast and lunch kind of buffet or stations. And again, plentiful options, anything from, omelets and, pancakes and things like that, fresh made pastries, fruits. We'll even have like a salad station. The nice thing about it too is you can serve, help yourself from there, and then the server will come and help you with your plate and beverages back to your table. And then all of your beverages are served table side. So again, even though you're kind of doing self-serve, you really have an assistant there to make sure that you are enjoying your meal and not taking care of yourself.
Love it so much. Nice.
Yeah. So, and we also do have our homemade gelato. We have a place called So fresh made gelato every day. We've also got another restaurant that is more casual, like sandwiches and burgers, but the best sweet potato fries you've ever had in your life. We serve on board the ship. And of course, in-room dining. And then our other restaurant is called Waterside. And Waterside is our 3-meal a day a la carte with the menu changes daily.
Cool.
So again, for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, though, it's always an option. There's no reservations required. There's no assigned seating, seating times. So you just kind of go in during their open times for, again, any of 3 meals. And the nice thing is the menu changes. So even if you go to that restaurant every night, you're kind of have something different as an option.
I love it. I love it. And folks, I'll remind you, if you're loving what you're hearing tonight, I am Walter, your independent travel agent. And if you would like to book your Crystal cruise or learn more about Crystal after the show, certainly do reach out. There's links in the description down below, or just go to where'swaltertravel.com. Pick a time on my calendar. I'll give you a call and let's talk about Crystal Cruises. All right, Lynne, keep going. I'm so excited.
All right. So entertainment wise, so we've got everything from pickleball and tennis on board. We've got a golf simulator. We've got a 3,000 square foot fitness center. We also do
Wow.
have different lectures. We have a movie theater, a supper
A
club. So we have
movie
so many
theater?
options I'm not even
Oh
talking
my
about.
gosh.
But I will share the newest one that we just added was our casino. And not just any casino out of Las Vegas. This is a casino out of Monte Carlo.
Nice.
So if you are familiar with that beautiful historical building right in the heart of Monte Carlo, which is Lake Casino, they are our partner for our onboard casino
Oh,
experience.
wow.
So all of the table, the gaming, the staff training is all done with Lake Casino Monte Carlo.
Holy cow.
So very, very upscale. And the nice thing too is it's off to one side on deck 7. It's not right in the heart of the ship that you have to walk past it and hear, the sounds or things. So if you want to enjoy a casino, it's available. If you don't want to enjoy the casino, you don't even have to go in. So it's a really nice way to accommodate both types of guests, people that really enjoy the casino gambling and some that prefer just to, enjoy some of the other entertainment options.
It just feels like you need to walk in with a tuxedo and ask for a martini.
Yeah.
What is it, shaken, not stirred, or stirred, not shaken? I can't. How did Bond take it? Whatever.
Yeah, I think it was stirred, not or shaken, not stirred. I think you're right.
I think it was shaken, not stirred, right?
Yeah.
Somebody's going to know. Somebody's going to chime in. But that's what it looks like. I just picture James Bond walking into that. Oh, that'd be awesome.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's an absolutely historic casino. And again, it's a smaller footprint and we don't have those big domed vaulted ceilings like you have in the original. But the fact that they chose Crystal to partner with is great. Oh, it is shaken, not stirred.
Thanks,
That
Kathy.
does not matter. Thank you, Kathy.
Okay. So Alex
All right.
wanted to know where you were sailing from. Here we go.
Yeah. So again, we don't necessarily sail from anywhere particular. We don't have a home base port because we have the 2 ships. We are a global company based out of Monaco. However, we do pretty much sail around the world. The nice thing about Crystal is we don't really repeat and do a lot of round trips back to back. So we will find a lot of our guests will join us for a 1-week sailing. But then they're like, hey, I see that the next excursion or the next voyage is going to take me to this port night. So they will continue to add. Sometimes I've had people sailing with us for 3 to 6 months at a time.
Wow.
And they get off the ship to go see family and they get back on for another 3 to 6 months. So again, we've got a very loyal following and it's because we keep it interesting. They really want to see a lot of these places. And even year after year, we can't keep repeating the same itineraries because it's the same clients who want to go back and check out somewhere new.
Right. I mean, that's an amazing map to see with only 2 ships because, there's other cruise lines out there that have 4 ships that aren't even covering what you're doing. But that's because of that idea that, look, we're just not going to repeat anything. So if you want to go on this itinerary, you better go on it now because we don't know when we'll do it again.
Exactly. And so on our average, we've got about, a 7 to 11 day kind of average. There's not really anything shorter than 7 days. We have a handful of itineraries that are 3 or 5 nights, but that's kind of an anomaly. But we also have what we call our grand voyages, which is a series of multiple segments we combine and discount and put some added benefits. And then, of course, we have our world cruise.
Nice.
So there's a couple different options as well that we really want to make sure people experience. So I'm just going to share what we call our focus voyages. So this is where we could really use your business. And we would absolutely love to have any of you that are on the call to join us. These are just a few examples of, in April coming up pretty soon, but we've got this really nice, 17-night itinerary doing the northwest coast of Africa, and then kind of doing the Canary Islands, ending up in Lisbon. We also have a Marseille to Barcelona or Tarragona. That's a nice 7-night itinerary, very, very simple. And you can kind of see the introductory price points. So just to give you an idea, that is a per person fare. Again, fully inclusive, taxes,
that's amazing.
Port fees, all of that's included, beverages, Wi-Fi, butler service. The only thing additional would be your airfare and any shore excursions you choose.
That's an amazing lead-in price, really. I mean, look at 17 nights leading in at 77, 7 nights at 46, with everything that you're getting. And that's the thing, you always have to remember, what am I getting for that fare? And basically, you're getting everything except the shore excursion.
Exactly. And a lot of times I compare it more to an all-inclusive hotel. So if you're thinking of a luxury all-inclusive hotel, and sometimes they're not even all-inclusive, but a luxury hotel at $1,500 per night, the fact that we include everything for that price point, for 2 people is actually really, really a great value.
Well, and you compare it to some of the large, we call them the white ship competitors that have the ship within a ship concept, that you would be paying more
Right.
and still not getting everything that you're getting here. Plus, what I love is, you're paying for that cocoon, right? You're paying for that cocoon to get away from the thousands of people. Well, why not just get away from 1,000 of people and just go on this?
And never have 1,000 people to start with. You know,
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, these are amazing prices.
Yeah. And I also think too, just the experience getting on the ships, the lines, in the port, like there's not a security line. You have a person that sees that you're with Crystal and you walk straight up to check in with the front desk person or the security. So there's not always a queue that you're in line waiting for other people, so you don't need to have this VIP line because everyone is in a VIP line with Crystal because we just don't have the same volume. So, again, great options. And then one of our 35th anniversary, which I'll send to you, Wally, if you want to follow up, is we've got 4 of our anniversary themed voyages. So for this one, Barcelona to Rome, we actually have our chairman. So Jeffrey Kent, who founded and started the company Abercrombie and Kent, he will be on board with some of our former cruise directors and captains. So again, to be able to sit and listen to them as lecturers, have coffee with them, I think is an exceptional opportunity for anyone who is in, because he's a very interesting person. If you want to do a little research on them, but the fact that he'll be on board with you for 9 nights is fantastic.
That's phenomenal.
And then kind of heading into Q3, I'll just kind of share too, we're going to head into the Baltics. So we've got a Copenhagen to Stockholm option this summer in July. We've also got clients that are looking to do Athens and the Greek islands. We've got several itineraries in July and August. And then in the fall, we're going to be doing the New York City and Quebec, as I mentioned as well. So all 3 of these, again, fantastic price points, lots of inclusions, which I'll share some of our promotions right now, in addition to what's already a great value with our all-inclusive offerings.
Wow, that's amazing. Couple questions too, like Alec kind of plays with this one right here. How late are you staying in port for the most part? I mean, I'm assuming these are long port stays?
Oh, great question. So on average, we're usually there till 5 or 6 p.m. However, we are starting to do more overnights. So you'll see when you're looking at the itinerary, you'll see the time that we arrive and depart the port, or you'll see a little crescent moon, meaning that we're overnighting. You'll see an anchor, which means that we're going to be tendering. Otherwise, they're all walk-off locations. But you can kind of see, just as you're looking through our website or as you get the itinerary from Wally, you'll really get to understand what that itinerary looks like in regards to how much time you have in each port and how you're getting to the actual, to getting onto land.
Nice. And then Chris, real quick, he's asking, do you have accessible staterooms on board?
Absolutely. So we do comply with ADA. We have, I believe, 10 staterooms total that will accommodate anything from hearing impaired, people that maybe need extra space for a walker or a scooter. We have bars and handrails and things like that in the bathrooms. So you just kind of let us know what the special needs are for accessibility, and we'll be able to accommodate that. The one exception, though, is the tendering. If they're not able to walk down the stairs onto the tender, we're not comfortable carrying the guest or their scooter to do that. So, but I think everything else on the ship is very, very accessible with the elevators and, ramps and things like that.
Nice. Okay, great. Thank you for the questions, guys. Those are great. And
very good
keep questions coming, folks.
Yeah. So heading into Q4, this again, just highlighting some of our voyages, is Lisbon to Barcelona. So kind of after the high season ends, I think fall is a great time to still experience Europe and the Mediterranean. We've got an 8-night itinerary on the Symphony. And then we've also got another round trip New York from October into November. And then the Serenity will be heading down into the Caribbean. So we do have one that is Barbados back to Fort Lauderdale. And that will actually be right over Thanksgiving. So if you
I was just going to say, that looks like that's Thanksgiving. Yeah.
So that's a great itinerary for clients that are looking to, really kind of enjoy the holidays at sea. And again, price point wise, even though it might feel like it's high season, it's really, really great value to be able to include that. And these all include the Sweet Dreams, which is an upgrade, a free night hotel stay, as well as complimentary laundry.
And the flight down to Barbados, we actually just did this last Christmas, and the flight down to Barbados are actually easy. And the only thing I wish we would have done was stayed in Barbados for another couple of nights, because it is such a beautiful island.
Yeah. So, and we do include a pre-trip hotel. So if you do want to fly in,
nice.
the Sweet Dreams promotion includes 1 night's complimentary, but you do need to book by March 2nd. So that's coming up pretty darn quick.
Oh man, I hope
Yeah.
Rebecca's watching. Rebecca, we need a book.
Yeah. So, and then again, too, just because both of our ships will be in the Mediterranean, we kind of wanted to share, like, why would you sail with Crystal this and spend the time in the Mediterranean? We've got 58 different cruise itineraries, 108 ports, visiting 19 countries, all just, this summer and fall months, or spring, summer, and fall. So a great way to be able to do that. And again, too, we also have some Abercrombie and Kent extensions. So if you are looking to, we're going to be in that area, is maybe do you want to extend and spend a little bit more time in some of these destinations? So for instance, in Rome, 3 days, spending the days in Rome, including hotel, private guides, all luxury Abercrombie and Kent curated, starting from $3,000 per person. You can go into Tuscany. We've got Cappadocia, which is, in Turkey, and then stepping back in Rome as well. So these are all either extensions pre or post, or overlands, where you'd actually get off the ship and then you would join back up with the ship at another time.
Oh, that's actually kind of neat. You would actually leave the ship partway through the cruise and then meet back up. Oh, that's really cool.
Exactly. Yeah, because you're going to be going inland a little bit more, but just the timing of it, and we coordinate everything. So we take care of your transfers, luggage, all of that. So to kind of get you to and from the ship, very, very seamless experience.
That's almost kind of like a river cruise where, sometimes like you'll get off the boat here to go off and do your excursion, and later on in the afternoon, the ship has moved along the river a bit. That's actually really cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So, but again, trying to deal with oceans and big ports of call, it's a little bit easier, harder to navigate on your own. So the fact that Crystal coordinates it all with the help of Abercrombie and Kent, again, is just knowing that you're going to be taken care of along the way. And it's just kind of in summary, just some of the top 10 reasons to why choose Crystal is, the Abercrombie and Kent, the 1-to-1 staff to guest ratio, that every room has access to butler service and room service, in-room dining, the ultra all-inclusive, which also includes gratuities, fine dining experiences, endless pours of wine and spirits, champagne, and again, fantastic chefs, again, big ship amenities, just the agenda amount of options you've got at any given hour is a lot for a ship of this size. So I won't go into detail about every single one of these, but it really does have a lot to offer. And just to kind of look at comparison, not pricing wise, because again, that's something that can always vary day by day. So I just want to share just the onboard experience size of the ship and just some ratios. So if you're comparing Crystal with Silversea, Regent, and Seabourn, we've got, a little bit more passengers, but still 1-to-1 staff to guest ratio, standard size suites a little bit larger, and then space to guest ratio. This to me is the bigger difference. Again, a little bit more elbow room, we've got more people, but it's a larger ship. And we've also got more dining options, as well as specialty dining that's all included. So it's a really great way to be able to compare and know that, you're still getting a great value.
That's great. That's great. And I think it's really interesting that not only do you have the bigger ship, but you used to have more people. And now you're like, you know what, we're just going to create more room. And I think that was a brilliant use of the space when you went back in and redid it.
Exactly. So now, even if you don't choose one of the larger rooms, you still have more space with fewer guests in the restaurants, the public areas. And, we've got a library, a computer lab at sea. The fitness center, you're never going to, have to worry about all those things. So, but again, too, if you have sailed with Crystal in the past, we bridged our member society benefits. So if you sailed 9 times with the previous Crystal, you'll be on your 10th cruise with the new Crystal. So we've got a great way to really honor the loyalty we have from our guests. And there's different milestones you earn along the way, all the way up to, I think some of our guests are up to 500 cruises. So we've got a lot of people that are really in it for that. So,
oh my gosh, 500, just 500 cruises on one cruise line. And
that's not 500 nights. That's 500 cruises on Crystal over the last 35 years. So
that's amazing. I mean, you talk about love.
Exactly. Yeah. So again, I haven't heard from people say, "Oh, I didn't really like it." It might not have been for them specifically, but people really do appreciate what we offer on board. Just again, some of our promotions and offers, which again, you can book any of these through Wally. The referral program. So if you have someone who has previously been on Crystal, I think Kathy or somebody mentioned, somebody told them it was fantastic, is that you each save 5% on your next Crystal cruise.
That's cool.
We also have what's called the Explorer Fare. So if you want to pay in full at the time of deposit, at least 12 months or more, so kind of an early booking special, you can save 10%, keeping it refundable. Or if you want to have it non-refundable, you want to lock in, you save 20% off of your cruise fare. Yes.
20% if you're now. Here's a question for you. So let's say we do that.
Okay.
And then they want to make a change. Can they lift and shift to another voyage instead of canceling? Or are they locked into that voyage?
They're locked into that voyage. If for some reason, for a medical reason, they can't actually take that voyage, we have done a future cruise credit, but it's not really something, because once we confirm that voyage, we're also confirming that category and stateroom number. So we don't necessarily want people to hold that and then just kind of shift it and move it around, because then we're taking that opportunity from
travel insurance, everybody. Travel insurance in case you can't go. All right. Thank you.
And then we have our welcome aboard loyalty offers. So if you are new to Crystal and you maybe sailed with multiple cruise lines in the past, and you're afraid to kind of lose out on that loyalty program, is we have what we call our welcome aboard. So you save 5% and you have complimentary laundry as well. So really, really great option.
Wow. So they just have to show like their loyalty from another cruise line and
exactly. Yeah. Sometimes it's just a screenshot of like, hey, I've been on this many cruises, or this is my status with, XYZ cruise line. And then you just send it to us and we'll take a 5% savings right off of your first invoice.
Wow. That's amazing. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So again, we just want to, make it as accessible and easy for possible, because again, once they, get on board, you get crystallized, which means that you are a fan for life. And we really have a lot of people that absolutely love it. And then every time you're on board, we have an extra onboard savings if you rebook your next cruise before you, get off the ship. And we have a little window. So again, similar to other cruise lines, but something we want to make sure that we make it as easy as possible to have your next cruise scheduled for you before you even get off the ship.
Right.
And for those of you that are interested in Africa, again, where we specialize with our Abercrombie and Kent partners, we have an air credit. So in Q4 of this year and Q1 of next year, we will be in Africa, including Christmas, this fall, Christmas and Hanukkah this year. We have a $2,300 credit if we book your air, or if you want to book your own air, you can just take $1,500 off of your cruise per person.
Oh, wow.
So really, really nice option again, too, because it's not inexpensive to get to Africa, but we want people to be able to enjoy that. And there's still a great opportunity to be able to book that with this airfare credit.
Wow.
And then the zero single supplement, I think, Wally, you mentioned you saw this. There are more voyages that if you want to upgrade to a room with a veranda or an oversized room with a suite, there are certain voyages, about 20 of them this year, that we've waived the zero supplement. So that sometimes saves the clients anywhere from $2,000 to $6,000, depending on which voyage they select.
So just to clarify again for everybody who was watching earlier, you have zero solo supplement. You have solo staterooms on every voyage. But this particular offer, you're offering some of the standard double occupancy with a zero supplement.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Wow. Okay. I think we got to go, folks. We got to go like that. That Thanksgiving cruise seems to be calling to me right now. I'm thinking, I know we're not booked for Thanksgiving. So
so this is a great way again, too, like for people that want to travel. And again, a lot of times they'll have like several rooms that are double occupancy. And then that one person who's a solo traveler, they don't necessarily want to be the third wheel in somebody's double guest room. So having the option to have that single supplement and still be able to enjoy traveling with the group is a great way to do that.
That is awesome. That's really awesome. I just love that. I just love that you have that solo on every single cruise. That's just, it always upsets me when I have to work with a solo traveler and then we have to find that cruise, and we shouldn't have to work so hard to find something that a solo traveler doesn't.
So, and they do sell out. I will say they are very, very popular, but funny story, had a couple recently that was asking about this because they are a couple, but they wanted their own bedrooms and bathrooms. So we found them with the zero supplement. Basically, they paid for 2 rooms for the price of 1 room because they had the zero supplement waiver. So we had joined their rooms, which I just thought was like the perfect match for this couple and this travel advisor that was trying to make them happy. I said, this is
I
great.
love you, hon, but you need your own room.
It was something about snoring and also just, bedtime hours. So I was just like, the fact that a married couple needed this separation, I'm like, great, I have the deal for you.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that so much. I think my business just went up thanks to that.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. I do love
so just
that.
this is my last slide here is the Sweet Dreams upgrade. This is the one that has
Nice.
a timeline because it will end this weekend.
Okay.
That is the upgrade. So you book an aquamarine and you get into a sapphire suite. Or we do
Nice.
also have the pre or post hotel stay or a $500 credit. You can use as a shipboard credit or just a savings. Plus complimentary laundry. So really nice to have 2-day laundry available, especially if you're on a longer voyage.
That's nice. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of information. And I got to tell you, folks, I learned a lot as well. Look at that. Now, check out, I'm going to bring that full for a second because I want people to notice that is a full-size tennis court on there. Look at that thing. And I think it's 2 pickleball courts.
Yep, 2 pickleball courts and then a full-size tennis court. And then we also do have, the full-size pool area and 2 jacuzzis. And then on the back, you can't see it in this image, but we have a golf driving range netted in.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, so absolutely beautiful.
I mean, most cruise ships, they're like, oh, wow, we got a pickleball court. This ship is smaller than most of the cruise ships you've been on. They've got 2 pickleball courts and a full-size tennis court. It's just phenomenal. I love that. I love that. Oh, I'll tell you what, I have learned a ton tonight myself. Folks, I've been doing this a little over 2 years now. And I've had my eye on Crystal. I just really didn't know a whole lot about it. And I was so happy when Lynne reached out just recently so we could start to learn more about it. And this has been, I'm sure you guys have gotten a lot out of it. I have certainly got a lot out of it. Question that I love to ask. So you've been on a few times now. So what is your favorite guilty pleasure on a Crystal ship?
For me, it would be the gelato. Because every day there's a different, but they have all the toppings. So there's multiple cookies that are freshly baked. So you can put a warm cookie in your gelato or chocolate chips or fresh fruit or spring. So again, and the little gentleman who works is from, I think, the Philippines. And so every time he come in, I'm like, just a little scoop, but he knows that's not what I mean. So he gives me it. But yeah, the gelato, again, it's something that is such a sweet treat, but also to an indulgence that I would never do. But because it's there and it's included, it just, stopping by every single day.
And then do you have a favorite? I mean, I'm sure it's hard to pick a favorite dish with all those restaurants and all the choices and everything, but do you have a favorite dish or a couple of dishes?
My favorite dish, I would say, is probably still, I really do love Nobu. He has a yellowtail with jalapeno. Again, it's in all of his restaurants. It's available on board, but I don't know how, I mean, it's the same yellowfin tuna you can get anywhere in the world, but somehow his ingredients are always phenomenal and above the experience I've had of any other sushi restaurant. So I would say the yellowtail with jalapeno is there. And then also the sea bass. And anytime they put sea bass or branzino or anything like that in the waterside restaurant, there's a different preparation. But anytime they have that, I absolutely love it.
Wow. Wow. And you may or may not know the answer to Kathy there. She's asking, do you know if you have any plant-based ice cream or non-dairy?
We absolutely do. So they always have at least 1 or 2 plant-based options, which are usually coconut milk. That I've seen, so it's still rich and creamy, but it is or they'll even have sorbet, which will just be like frozen, fruit juices and things like that. So they'll have sorbet, or they've had again too with like different coconut milk. But and if you have any specialty dining requests, you just let our chefs, and then a lot of times they'll bring the menu to you the night before, and you can select so that when you go to the restaurant, you don't have to kind of scan through. They'll have everything ready for you. So they're really, really good and accommodating about any sort of specialty restrictions or dining things too.
That's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. Well, folks, look at that. We've been going for about an hour already. Holy cow. And what a great cruise line. And for those of you who may have missed it earlier, they've got the 2 ships in the water right now, but there are 3 more coming. What did you say, 2028?
Mm-hmm. 2028, 29, and 2030.
So there you go. So they're going for 5 ships. So Crystal is not going anywhere. And you have that phenomenal relationship now with Abercrombie and Kent. If you did not hear it before, all of the land portions of and their shore excursions and all of that are curated by Abercrombie and Kent. But that relationship is phenomenal. They're part of the Crystal family now, which is amazing. So again, folks, I'm Walter, your independent travel advisor with Where's Walter Travel. If we can help you in any way with your Crystal cruise or your Crystal adventure, definitely reach out. There are links in the description, or just go to where'swaltertravel.com, click on contact us, and set up an appointment, and I will be glad to give you a call. If you're looking at my calendar next week going, geez, Walt, you don't have any time, it's because I'm going to be at a big conference with Lynne. Lynne's going to be there.
Yeah.
But I'll be able to talk to you after that. But my goodness, folks, let's talk about this. I am seriously going to talk to Rebecca about Thanksgiving. I think we need to fly to Barbados and hop on the ship. That's going to be phenomenal.
Perfect.
Phenomenal. All right, folks. Well, thank you so much for joining it. Lynne, thank you so much for taking time out of your day. I really do appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thanks for the opportunity. Thank you to everyone who took their time to spend with us and learn about Crystal, and I hope to see you on board.
Awesome. Well, folks, you have an amazing evening. I'll be back on Sunday morning with our usual Cruise Chat live for about an hour and a half at 10:30 in the morning Eastern time. Next Thursday, we will not be live because we're going to be at the conference, but I will have more guests coming up in the future. So again, Lynne, thank you so much for joining us. Everybody, thank you so much for watching, and have yourself an amazing evening. See you soon.
Thanks, everyone.